This is Dr. Jerome Corsi, and today it is Friday. It's August 16th, 2024. Thank you for joining us here on thetruthcentral.com. You can find me on X at CorsiJerome1, and on Substack, it's JeromeCorsiPhD.substack.com. Now, as many of you know who've been following me, in Ohio, the algorithms that are in the state Board of Election voter registration databases. The Ohio Board of Elections does not believe that they are corrupted in their data. They think they're doing a good job. They've tried to scrub, duplicate records, and they've done the normal things. But what is not realized yet is that these Democratic operatives, who are now completely New World Order, these people are beyond America. They're post-America. They believe that they can create their own new utopia. And we are, my AntiGlobalist manifesto book is out, starting to be published. And I'm on the theme now that I'm going to pursue from here to the end of the election. This whole idea of we've got to defeat this globalist agenda. Now, I'll have a few minutes here to get this set up today, and then we're going to run some past shows, and we're going to get into some more live broadcasting. I'll be doing more town halls next week. I'm staying in Ohio next week and starting to communicate with the local media, starting to do local town halls. The whole idea, I want to get a website for you to go to, which is gods5stones.com. That's our 501c3 that goes with the AntiGlobalist Alliance. It's the 501c3 is educational. It's made to shine light on darkness on this voter fraud. And you can see, Chris is showing it to you on the screen. I've got several videos there now, town halls and other meetings. Now, what this is about is the paper that you see there. Andrew Paquette, who is he's a cyber artist. He's able to, on computer graphics, do artistry for movies. I mean, he's very, very talented at this. Found as part of this New York program that's going on about 2020 that there is a cipher. There's algorithms mean a mathematical formula. There's all algorithmic alteration of the New York State voter registration base maintained by the Department of Elections, the New York Board of Elections. And this is in about 13 different states. Now, what this algorithm does is it changes the State Board of Election registration number. So your voter ID doesn't bear any relationship to when you actually registered. This allows them to create fake records, which can be used then to vote absentee ballots. It can be requested by a voter who appears to have a legitimate State Board of Election ID number, but is not a real person. They're a clone, or they're a made-up vote, a ghost vote. Okay, so this is the way that the cheating is done. It's done through the computer. It's done through the central office of the Board of Election, where they can tell how many votes they're going to need on mail-in votes in order to have their candidate win either during the election or after the election is over by stopping the counting and printing an additional number of mail-in ballots and getting them run through the system. Okay, now it's a complicated scheme. But what it means is that we are able to see that these, as it were, National Security Agency or CIA agents who New World Order, working on behalf of destroying America, have penetrated into the inner sanctum of our boards of election. And they've corrupted the databases so that they can cheat. Now, this means that they could actually run a simulation of the election right now. Say, okay, we got it done now. We know we're going to be able to have a Kamala win because we have run the simulations. We know how many votes. Do you want Camilla to lead by 1% or 3%? Do you want her to be leading the entire election day? Do you want her to have a surge at the end? This can be calculated by the political scientists and the cyber specialists, the cryptographers, the code writers, who have gone in and altered these databases so they can control how many false records they create and how many can be voted. Now, it's complicated, but we're in Ohio making great progress getting across the word that the state database is corrupt and it can't be used, not in its current form. And we're not saying the Kraken, we're not saying voter fraud, we're saying this. It's inherently wrong to put a numeric alteration scheme on a voter base. Now, this is a revolutionary argument. It's going to take me about a month, but about at the end of August, we're going to have a national awareness that the Democratic plan is, first of all, that they're going to win. Not because they've got a better candidate, not because they've got a better message. They have a lousy candidate, a lousy message. But the Democrats actually now feel because they can control the voting through these algorithms, through running the computers the way they want to run them, that they have made elections into a simulation. And they're going to pull it off in the last minute, say, oh, there was a surge for Kamala. And they're going to say this was a historic win for the Democrats, even though Kamala probably is drawing very, very few real votes and very little real support. Now, I want you to follow me closely on this because we're going to be doing a lot of posting on this. Chris is going to run a few things to fill in later today, but fundamentally, I'm in Ohio to get Ohio to be one of the first states to say we have algorithms in our election database that we didn't know we had. And this isn't right. It's going to have to be fixed before we vote. And my point right now is to expose it so that you're all aware of it. And I'm going to do it in Ohio. So there's gods5stones.com, which is GODS, no apostrophe in the gods. Then you spell out 5, F-I-V-E, and stones, S-T-O-N-E-S, gods5stones.com. That's our 501c3. You can donate. Please do. We need the money in order to get this done. We'll hire experts, but within 30 days, you're going to see the nation talking about algorithms in the elections. And I think it's going to be across the country. We found them so far in 13 different jurisdictions. We're going to find them in more. Now, I'm going to leave these comments at this point right now to encourage you to look at the websites. Chris will run some additional things from past shows here, and we will be next week doing a lot of interviewing in Ohio. So stay with us, thetruthcentral.com. Please spread the word. God bless. In the end, God always wins. God's going to win here too. It's a matter of time until we expose this evil and put an end to it once and for all. Thank you for joining us. This is Dr. Jerome Corsi. We'll be back next week with podcasts every day. God bless.